Today is part 5 of the series Reconditioning the 1973 men's Schwinn Collegiate 5-speed bicycle. And the tools we'll be using today is WD-40, or a substitute in this case, some steel wool, a coarse steel wool, and a fine steel wool. And of course your chrome parts. Here's the fenders right here, and here's the wheels right there. And we'll start off with the fenders here. Here's the rear one. Let me put it down. And you take your fine steel wool on this type of chrome because usually the rust is pretty light on here. You take your WD-40 substitute or WD-40 and you spray it on there. And you just wipe the surface. It's kind of hard to hold the camera. Just wipe the surface off with steel wool. Just wipe the surface clean. Of course, we may have stained the table, but who cares? It was a garbage pick table. So. Get it all nice and clean. Steel wool and WD-40 or a substitute on the surface. Clean it up really nice. Take a rag. Rim fell down. Take a rag and wipe the surface clean. Here you go. That's a clean surface. Now here's the final products. I just got done with them. I just got done cleaning them. There's a little bit of chrome damage on the back of the rear fender, but that's okay. You can't save them all. But otherwise the fenders turned out okay. The front one has a little bit of scratching, but that's no big deal. But I'll tell you, these fenders are a lot better than the ones that are on that bicycle now. The ones that are on that bicycle are pretty smashed and pretty dinged. So, yeah, these will look really nice. And we'll set these aside for now. And we'll start with the wheels. We'll start with the front wheel here. Basically the same thing as cleaning the fenders. You just take your WD-40 or a substitute and spray it on the surface. Take your steel wool and clean it up. This is a task you gotta have patience for. You'll be here a while, so maybe turn on some music or something. I'll wipe it clean. And here's the clean chrome. And I gotta go all the way around this wheel, along with the back one that's sitting on the ground. Some cases you may have to use the heavy steel wool to get at those really stubborn rust places, but these rims will clean up pretty decent. There may be some chrome damage, but like I said, you can't save them all. These rims are a lot better conditioned than those Schwinn Breeze rims that I have on the Schwinn Breeze bike, but I'm gonna part the Schwinn Breeze bike out and toss the rims, because those rims are just beyond repairs. Here are the final products. This is the front wheel, and this is the rear wheel. The front wheel turned out great. There's hardly any rust or chrome damage left. But I had to re-grease the front axle bearings though. They were really squeaky like tricycle wheels. And plus I installed the tires. The tubes hold air, both of them. Of course I said I had to reuse the old tires because new tires for this size, they cost an arm and a leg. So I had to reuse what I had, because if I bought new ones it would ruin my profits. The rear wheel, however, needed some work. Of course, there is some chrome damage on the rear wheel. Let me rotate it. See all that spotting right there? That's chrome damage. And plus, there's some sporadic rust spots around the wheel that I just couldn't get out. I'm not going to even bother cleaning those up even more, because it would just ruin the character of the rim if I took a wire wheel to them. And plus, around the wheel there's these little spoke nipples. There was quite a few of them that were stripped. So I replaced them with used ones off the old wheel, because I needed to have good spoke nipples in order to straighten the rim out. And plus, I broke a spoke too, and I had to take the wheel to a bicycle shop so I can get the freewheel removed, just so I can get this shield off to replace the spoke. And while this whole assembly was taken apart, I cleaned the shield up, because it's kind of hard to shove a piece of steel wool in between these spokes here. So it was good to have the freewheel off and this shield off so I can clean the shield. And now the shield's all clean. There's a little bit of chrome damage on it, but like I said, you can't save them all. And now the rims are straight. And stay tuned for part 6, which is going to be the beginning of reassembly. And just to let you know, Mr. Termy has left us. He closed his account and everything, and that's proof that we need to stop all the hate on YouTube. But anyways, we all must go on. And that concludes this video, and stay tuned for part 6 of reassembly, the beginning of reassembly. Bye.